What's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades. Hope everybody's doing all right today. Ending the day up $153.14. Did a little bit of trading, put in quite a few tickets here, so we're probably actually ending the day right around $100 after fees and commissions. And the story for today is just making sure that your winners are bigger than your losers. And we pretty much accomplished that by and large for the most part, I would say, except for with Facebook. And to be honest, Facebook, well, two things about Facebook. Facebook actually should have been a much bigger trade than this. I was really trying to be patient with it and really letting my winner run, and I was waiting for a return to VWAP here. As you can see, Facebook has had a major buy up. By the way, this is the daily chart, and it's a very strong run up today. There is no previous area of resistance, and I often tell people, as a short bias trader, you by and large, you want to stay away from stocks that are having massive run ups and have no previous area of resistance, unless you know what you're doing, because there are things that you can look for. There are signs, and this sort of thing just comes from being in the market. This sort of thing comes from experience, from spending months on end in either a trading simulator or even in a live broker account, watching live charts, live price action play out on these charts, and watching level 2 and those sorts of things. There are ways to kind of get a feel for when you can get little pullbacks, okay? And so, by the way, when I short into stocks that are strong, I am not shorting into them for some kind of long-term play. I'm shorting into them for just a pullback. Just a pullback. And there are points where you can identify those pullbacks. And obviously, I was able to identify this one really well because I pretty much nailed the top on Facebook, right? I pretty much nailed the top right here around 230.61. And so what happened was we started to get the drop, and SPY, as a matter of fact, had really been kind of butting up against a really key area up here on the daily. As a matter of fact, if I pull out the daily chart on the SPY, you can see, and this one's kind of messy, but I've got this line marked out here. And the last time we hit these levels was back in March. It was March 6th. So early March. Okay. And so it has, even if you see, the last couple of days, it's kind of teetered around these areas, and it was just having a really hard time pushing up over there. And so when I saw the SPY kind of teetering around these levels here for almost an hour, right here on the 5-minute chart, you can see, first of all, we grinded our way up, and there was a lot of choppy action, and then we grinded our way up again, and there was a lot of chopping here, and it just could not break. This happened for almost an hour here, started rolling over. That was one of my indicators about knowing that this would be a good spot to get in on Facebook, on top of the fact that Facebook was also at the 230 mark. And the 230 mark, 30, that 30 whole number is it's a real good psychological whole number to cross through. And so you can see it broke up a little past 230, but it was just teetering around this area a lot. SPY looked like it was rolling, so I called the top here. And what I was waiting for was a move all the way back to VWAP, because I thought it could kind of come down and find some support on these levels here. Obviously, we see here that it is continuing to roll over, and we very, very well may see a break of those levels today. But I really wanted to let the trade work out. And all that to say, this $33 here actually should have been more like $53 or even $63. But the trade started coming back, and so I got out here even before my break-even point. You can see I first went short here. I took a little bit of profit. I added back to my position, took profit down here, and was just trying to be patient with it, guys. I endured this whole pullback here. I had, at this point, moved my stop down to about right here, right at the 230 mark. Never broke over it, so it started to come down, and then I moved my stop back down to the 229.50 mark, I believe it was. Anyway, it got me out there with a little bit of slippage, and no, 229.71 was where I put that stop. But anyway, other than Facebook, this was the smallest trade of the day, and or the smallest win of the day, and my other two winners were bigger than my losers. Okay, and they were bigger. This one in particular, JD, was bigger than all these losers combined. Okay, and so that's the key to trading. A lot of times you hear people talk about that. Let your winners run, and make sure that you're cutting your losers quickly. And I think another piece of that puzzle is if you take a conservative share size, you won't have to cut them too quickly to where to where you cut them and then they end up working out in your favor. When you take conservative share size, and I'm kind of wording this wrong. I'm looking at some other things on my other screens, and I'm having a hard time multitasking here. But basically, if you take conservative share size, you allow the stocks room to breathe, room to go up and down, and kind of, you don't get stopped out too quickly, but you give it time to work itself out. And then if it does go against you, you're still not taking that big of a loss because you're trading with a much smaller share size. Okay, so I can't emphasize these things enough. But INO was another great example of how you can be wrong a lot of times. And as you can see here, I mean, I was wrong several times on the day, but I was right just enough times to make up for all of those wrongs. And INO was a great demonstration of that here, because in pre-market, I actually got in, I bought. And the reason I bought is because INO is typically a really strong stock, and it really causes a lot of short squeezes. And pay no attention to these wicks. These are just misprints on the chart. But anyway, typically what will happen on a stock like INO, I've seen it happen many, many times. It'll look like it's coming down, and then when it comes out of the gates, it starts squeezing up. And so I actually ended up going long here. I sold my position here, but then it started recovering. I got back in, it started recovering all the moving averages. I got back in, came back, and I got out. And then anyway, I got back in again just because it looked like it was this is a 5-minute chart. I could break it down to the 1 minute, but it'll make it harder to see. The candles are so much smaller on the 1 minute, and Lightspeed does not have really good charting tools to expand this stuff out and zoom in and show you what I'm talking about. But it looks strong, just for a split second. So I tried again and I got out. So I tried to go long 3 times on this and even built a position into one of my longs, and I was wrong that many times. But then finally I flipped it. And I went short here, got a little nervous, so got out just a little bit here. But then as it came down towards VWAP, I added to my position, took profit here, and then took a quick little scalping short here. And all of that one move right there pretty much put me up. I recovered all of my losses, plus put me up $61 on INO. So JD was the other good one for the day. DVAX, NVAX, mRNA. I mean, mRNA, actually, I'm kind of proud of this one, even though I ended up a little underwater on mRNA today. You can see here that, so let's see. I went short and then went short again. No, I went short down here. This actually is a pullback. If you looked at the 1 minute chart, you would see, but it pulled back, went short again, and then I think I got out a little break even here. Tried to go short again, got out here, and then I built a position all up through here, and then had to get out here. And so, but over here, I had drawn this trend line, and you can see that INO has been respecting this trend line. And so because of that, I saw it nearing the trend line. I took on this little pullback here, I took a shorting scalp and did all right with that. And then I took a nice little scalp here. And I know it doesn't look like much, guys, but at one point I was down a lot more than this on mRNA, and I was able to recover and make that only a $35 loss on the day. So really nice recovery there. It looks like it's starting to push through that trend line now and make its way back up. So we'll see what that does. But JD, this is the last one that I'll go over, guys. Just a good solid move here. JD has had such a run up, and you can see here it looked like it was experiencing some weakness compared to the daily yesterday. We had a little bit of a sell-off yesterday, and it looked like there was going to be continuation. Had a pretty nice buy up this morning, but it couldn't sustain. It rolled over. Nice rollover pattern there, and then finally broke through all key moving averages plus VWAP. That's where I got short and scalped out here, or took a little profit here, and then finally took one more little short here. And I wish I had held on to that because this was a nice rollover here, but went ahead and was just padding the wallet on the day there. But what I noticed is this got bought back all the way back up here, and I started building a position. I really kind of wanted to build a position. I was hoping that this would do what this is doing now and come all the way up to previous day close. And I wanted to build a position up to there, but I was only able to get about a 200 share position. Started getting out some of my shares here, and then got out some here, added to my position here, and then got out here. And so and then I took another little stab at it here and just had to get out with a little bit of a loss right there. But guys, this was basically the move of the day here, and did really well on that. And like I said, we're ending the day up in the green. This has been a good week so far. So far, we're green every single day this week, and I'm happy about that. And tomorrow, we're going to come back here and look for some more stocks to trade. And if you're new to the channel, would love for you guys to join us in the live stream. We've got a really good live stream going on here on the channel Monday through Friday. Begins roughly around 9 a.m. I go through the pre-market, and admittedly, this morning I was a little preoccupied, so I didn't really get to go over a lot of my trade ideas, just because I had that trade going in on INO, and I was really trying to watch that. I was really highly anticipating a squeeze up to some really good levels there, but anyway, typically around 9 o'clock, I'll come in and I'll go over some of the stocks that I'm going to be watching, and some of my trade ideas for the day. And we've got a really great community of other traders that join us, and they bring a lot of value to the channel. So I really enjoy you guys. By the way, shout out to all my regulars there. And but if you're new to the channel, consider joining us. And hope you guys have a great evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.